Welcome back to Risk and Reward. We're staying on this extraordinary listening session, an emotional meeting at the White House between the president, the vice president, the Secretary of Education, and survivors of school shootings. Let's bring in Pastor Leon Benjamin Sr. from the New Life Harvest Church in Richmond, Virginia. You know, parents spoke of their lost children. Students and parents fought off tears, remembering those that they've lost. Here's a montage of some of the students advising the president, talking to President Trump, saying, here's what you need to do, and here's what's happening.
I was there during the shooting, and I'm a survivor. And I want you guys all to emphasize the point that I survived. I was lucky enough to come home from school. Unlike some of my other classmates, I really appreciate you hosting me and what you were saying. I'm confident that you'll do the right thing, and I appreciate you looking at the bump stocks. My thoughts and prayers are out to everyone.
I was actually in the second classroom that was shot at. In my mind, as a kid, nothing ever that horrible should ever have to happen to you. Thank you for everything. You've done a great job, and I like the direction that you're going in.
One that stuck out to me was about all the drills and protocols that my teachers had to go through. They knew what to do once the code red for an active shooter was announced, but through research I found that only 32 states require drills. But of those 32 states, more than half of the counties do not go through the drills because they want to spend their resources towards something else.
We're bringing in Pastor Leon Benjamin. Pastor, you know, the vice president said, we want to hear your hearts today. I encourage you to be candid and be vulnerable and share with us not only your personal experience, but what you would have us to do. Sir, Pastor, is this the first time you've seen a listening session like this at the White House?
Absolutely. This is just amazing because this is a part of what I call the healing process, and to be able to bring the conversation to a level where we are now listening as opposed to talking. As a preacher, you know, it's one thing to preach at something, but it's another thing to listen, to be able to get down to the solutions. And this is what happened today, and I've never seen this before.
They're both heartbroken and angry. Here's the father, Andrew Pollock, who lost his daughter, Meadow Pollock, at the Parkland High School shooting. Here's his emotional plea. Watch.
So that's what I keep saying this, because I want it to sink in, not forget about this. We can't forget about it. All these school shootings, it doesn't make sense. Fix it. It should have been one school shooting, and we should have fixed it. And I'm pissed, because my daughter I'm not going to see again. She's not here. She's not here.
He also said the only thing he has left of his daughter is visiting her grave. Your reaction?
Yeah, first and foremost, you know, all of our hearts go out to all of the victims, all of the families, past and present, the victims in Florida. And what we have to understand is that this is a part of the healing process. We have to let this out. This is the rage, the inner rage that is going on in America that must now come to a leveling plane where we can begin now to have a decent conversation which leads to solutions. The solutions, of course, are on a multiple level. There are many things we have to look at. Mentally, of course, the security, and I didn't hear too much about the spiritual health of our schools spiritually. And we took prayer out of schools. We took the Bible out of schools. And 2 Chronicles 7:14 says, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and seek his face, turn from our wicked ways and pray, then he'll hear from heaven, forgive our sins and heal the land. So there's a healing that takes place from God. And if we take God out, then we take out a spiritual aspect that gun safety and all the other mental awareness cannot replace. And as a pastor, I know good and well that there are some people that we must understand the spiritual aspect along with the social, emotional, and mental aspects. And that parent was angry, and he has a right to be so. But what do we do with that anger is where we as a country, as a nation, and as churches and pastors and school teachers and politicians, and I give kudos to our president that allowed this type of conversation to go on at the White House.